Hey, this is Whisker, and today we're answering a question about an animal you see all the time and think you completely understand. Why do cats actually purr? Trust me, it's not what you think. It's 3 a.m. You're lying in bed, and there's a small warm animal vibrating on your chest like a poorly balanced washing machine. Your cat is purring, and you think you know what that means. He's happy. He loves you. Life is good. Here's the problem. That exact same purr shows up when a cat is terrified at the vet, when a cat is injured, and even, this is the strange part, when a cat is dying. So the purr isn't a happiness signal. It's something else. Something older, weirder, and honestly kind of incredible. And once you understand what's really going on inside that tiny vibrating body, you will never hear a purr the same way again. Let's start from the very beginning. First, the mechanics, because they're stranger than you'd expect. For decades, scientists genuinely did not know how cats purr. No other body part obviously produces the sound. The answer turned out to be the voice box. A cat's brain sends a rapid signal to the muscles of the larynx, 20 to 30 times every second. Those muscles snap open and close that fast, and the air passing through vibrates. In, out, in, out. That's why a purr is continuous. Unlike a meow, it happens on both the inhale and the exhale. No conscious effort, no mouth movement. It's closer to a heartbeat than to a word. And here's the first clue that this isn't really about happiness. It's involuntary. A cat can't always choose to stop. And there's one more clue hiding in the cat family. Think about big cats. A lion can roar, but a lion cannot purr. A house cat can purr, but it cannot roar. It's one or the other, never both. The reason is a single tiny bone in the throat called the hyoid. In big roaring cats, it's flexible, which lets them roar. In purring cats, it's hardened and stiff, and that stiffness is what makes the continuous purr possible. So purring isn't just a cute habit, it's built into the animal's anatomy, which raises the real question, if evolution went to the trouble of building this into the body, what is it actually for? To answer that, you have to go back to the first hours of a cat's life. Kittens are born blind and deaf. They can't see their mother, they can't hear her call. For the first week of life, they are almost completely cut off from the world. But there is one thing they can do. They can feel her. A mother cat purrs almost constantly around her newborns, and that vibration is a beacon. It travels through the floor, through her body, straight into theirs. It says, I'm here. Food is here. Safety is here. The kittens can't hear it as a sound, but they can feel it in their bodies, and they follow it toward her warmth. And here's the part most people never realize. The kittens purr back. While they're nursing, they vibrate too, telling their mother, I'm okay, I'm feeding, I'm safe. It's the very first conversation a cat ever has. Before it can see, before it can hear, before anything else, a cat learns to say, I'm all right, stay close, through vibration. Hold on to that idea because it's the key to everything else. At its very root, a purr is not, I'm happy. It's, I'm here and everything is okay. Please stay close. Every other way a cat uses the purr for the rest of its life is built on top of that one original message, including the next one, which is where cats start using it on us. Now here's where it gets clever. Almost manipulative. In 2009, scientists at the University of Sussex studied cats that wanted to be fed, and they found something hidden inside the ordinary purr. When a cat wants something, food, attention, for you to wake up right now, it doesn't just purr louder. It embeds a second sound inside the purr, a high-pitched cry hidden in the low rumble. And when researchers measured that cry, they found it sits in a very specific frequency range. The exact same range as a human baby's cry. A frequency our brains are biologically wired to be unable to ignore. Let that sink in for a second. Your cat may have evolved a sound that sneaks past your logical brain and pokes the exact part of you that responds to a crying infant. That urgent, drop everything, something needs me feeling. So when people say a hungry cat is impossible to sleep through, they're not exaggerating, and they're not weak. It's not an accident, it's an exploit. A tiny piece of software running on you. And the really impressive part, cats can turn this on and off depending on who's listening. The urgent cry purr shows up around humans they're trying to influence. The calm purr shows up when they just feel safe. Somewhere in the last 10,000 years of living alongside us, cats didn't just move into our homes. They learned to hack our instincts. But even this, the manipulation, the baby cry, the exploit, still isn't the strangest thing a purr can do. Because it doesn't explain the cases we started with. Because none of what we've said explains the terrified cat, the injured cat, the dying cat. If a purr means stay close or feed me, why would a cat purr when it's alone and in pain? Why would it purr in its final moments, when there's no mother to reach and no human to manipulate? The leading theory is almost hard to believe. Remember the frequency of a purr down between 25 and 50 Hz. That number turns out to be very, very special. Because that exact frequency range is the same one that, in medical research, has been shown to speed up bone healing and tissue repair. I want to be clear about how strange this is. Humans build machines that vibrate at these frequencies to help fractures heal faster and keep bones strong. We use them in physical therapy. We've even studied them for astronauts, whose bones weaken in zero gravity. And a cat produces that same healing frequency from the inside. For free, on demand, anywhere. So the theory is this: purring is partly a self-repair mechanism. Cats sleep and rest for up to 16 hours a day, and a low constant vibration may be a way to keep bones and muscles from wasting away during all that stillness. And when a cat is hurt or terrified, it purrs to do two things at once: to calm its own nervous system and possibly to help its own body heal. The vet office purr was never, "I'm happy." It's much closer to a human humming to themselves in a dark, scary place. The cat is soothing itself with a tool it carries everywhere it goes. And that, finally, explains the hardest case of all: the dying cat. When a cat purrs in its last hours, it isn't telling you it's content. It's the oldest instinct it has, firing one final time, a body reaching for the one thing that ever made it feel safe, trying to soothe itself, trying to hold on. It's the same message from the very first day of its life, whispered at the very end. "I'm here, stay close, it's going to be okay." So the next time a cat falls asleep purring on your chest, listen a little more carefully. Because you're not just hearing a happy pet. You're hearing the first language it ever learned, before it could see or hear anything at all. You're hearing a healing machine older than human medicine. And if it happens to be hungry, you might be hearing a quiet little trick, thousands of years in the making, being played on your brain in real time. We spent centuries assuming the purr just meant a cat was happy. It turns out it means something much bigger and much older than that. I'm here. I'm healing. Stay close. It was never really about happiness. It was about survival.